What is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. It's Wednesday night. We have a live virtual audience. I'm your host, Stevie, alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi, on this Wednesday night?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful. It's so lovely to see your beautiful face tonight.
Yeah, with my haircut, my
Yes.
fade, all good and ready to go. I am happy it's hump day. Hello, virtual audience. A couple things to announce. This is episode 392. If you're listening on the recorded version of this, other thing to really listen up to is we are switching over finally to Vocal, VOKL.com as of next week. They said they're going to fade Get Vocal out at the end of August, and we don't want to get caught up in the middle of they didn't give us an exact date. So we will switch over to, I put it in the notes at the very top if you scroll up, but essentially it's vocal, VOKL.com/channels/tags podcast. But rest assured, if you're listening to this, I will have it on tagspodcast.com, on all social media the day of.
Lovely.
We're still waiting to hear if they can take subscribers over at Vocal. So hopefully we will. Do know if you have subscribed to Get Vocal, sadly, it doesn't automatically switch you over to the new platform. I know that's why one of the reasons why we stayed so long on this platform.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys get notices, but just if you can get that new link, and if you don't want to get it today, get it on the website, and we'll be there on our new home starting
us out,
next
guys.
Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
What date is that, Kodi? If you can, that's August. Yeah, that's a week from tonight.
I'm bad with dates,
exactly.
math. I'll look it up.
No worries.
It's the
Also,
24th.
the 24th of August will be over there. All right. Also in news, our co-host Lincoln, it's his birthday tomorrow, August 18th. Happy birthday, Lincoln. If you want to shout out to him, you can reach him at Mad Lincoln on Instagram. Happy for him. Happy birthday. All right. Well, let's get into, we have so many topics to get to.
So many.
And we want you guys to weigh in. I know, sadly, we have to report on in Chicago. James, you might be aware of this, that 3 men were killed and 1 man was injured after a hit and run collision outside of the popular black gay-owned gay club in Chicago over last weekend, authorities said. And the incident, quote, appears to be intentional based upon what everyone has seen. One of the chief detectives told reporters during a press conference this past Monday, police say at approximately 5 a.m. on Sunday, a sedan sped up and ran over 4 men on the street outside the Jeffrey pub. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's Chicago's longest running LGBTQ bars. And according to the detective, the incident appears to have started with an argument inside the establishment, which spilled out onto the street. Quote, then you can see that this individual gets into the car and then commits this horrific act, which led to the killings of 27-year-old Devonta K. Vivetter, 25-year-old Donald Huey, and 23-year-old Jaylee Osley. And a 4th victim, Carly J. McKinney, was taken to a local hospital and survived. McKinney, who lost his 2 friends, Vivetter and Huey, in the collision, told ABC Chicago that he doesn't remember the impact. All I remember is I was trying to get my close family friend. I call him my cousin. I was trying to get him from fighting another male, he said. And by the time we got halfway in the street, this car came from the street and all he could see was a bright light. And that's when everything went black. So
that's hard.
They are saying, though, at least according to this McKinney, that this seems like it was a hate crime. Now, that hasn't been confirmed yet. So we can't report that, but so sad. And we just wish that everybody, the families of those that were the victims of this, we are thinking of them. Our prayers are with those victims. It's just so sad any way you look at it, right, Kodi?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just horrific. And I hope they find the person that's responsible so that the families could have some sort of resolution, because it's just so
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, right.
My
Well,
heart goes out to them.
absolutely. What does James say here? Because he lives in Chicago.
James says he didn't see it, but he did see a guy before and after he was hit on Lakeshore Drive last night by his house. So sad for both. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be, I guess it's happening.
Right.
Multiple
All right.
times.
Yeah. Well, again, our prayers are with the family, and we will report back as we hear more with that developing story. And it's just sad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Aaron Schock, I'm not sure if you guys know him. He was a 2-term House of Representatives for Illinois who was ousted in 2015 for misappropriating campaign money for things like, get this, for decorating his office to look like Downton Abbey, as well as taking people from his office to see Katy Perry. Now, if that doesn't scream gay, I don't know what does. Then, so as he misappropriated so many funds throughout his term, and he also repeatedly voted against LGBTQ legislation. That's really the horrible
This is
part
my
about
problem
it.
with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So while he was in office, he voted against many LGBTQ that came up, and I'm assuming some of it was gay marriage at the time, because that would have been around the time, correct, Kodi?
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah. He, after being ousted for misappropriating funds, he then in 2019, so that was 2015, in 2019, he was spotted at Coachella with groping another guy's pants, some guy's dick, and also making out, which by normal accounts, hey, that sounds like a fun, normal Coachella experience.
Sounds like a Friday night to me. Okay, but
not when you're Aaron Schock, who voted against this, all LGBTQ rights while he was in office. And then 1 year later in 2020, he came out. Interesting year to come out, Kodi.
Yeah.
Wondering if it was because of Coachella that he finally just came out, and wondering if everyone was going to read the news and know about it. But anyways, he came out in 2020. Well, now he was just spotted at our local bar here in New York City, the infamous Eagle, where they took a picture of him. And now many people are slamming down on the Eagle for putting what they called, the Eagle shamelessly put another picture of an 8-pack guy with his buddies, not realizing it's Disgraced former House of Reps, 2-term House of Rep Aaron Schock. And I think Eagle finally, because Twitter has been going crazy on this, they finally took it down. But it's not the Eagle's fault in my mind at all. I don't think I didn't know who, I wouldn't recognize Aaron Schock if I saw him there. I remember the story. It's dark, red light and everything. So they're taking pictures left and right. I don't think that they're looking at people's ID, and they often don't. I know this for a fact.
They probably didn't even look at his face, honestly.
Right. And you and I go to some of these spaces where they take pictures, and sometimes the photographer will ask, "Hey, what is your name?" I'll put it in print. To you, of course, they'll just say, "Oh, Kodi Maurice Doggette." We know who you are.
And I say, "No pictures, please, darling. No pictures, please."
They sign that away, and you are good to go. In this case, I've been to the Eagle, and they are just taking pictures and placing them on social media. They are not asking for ID, your STIs, or anything like that, like they probably should be. But
how big is it? Can you?
What were your thoughts on this? And were you mad at the Eagle?
I'm not necessarily mad at the Eagle because, like you said, it's dark in there. You don't necessarily know who it is. But when I saw it, because I did see it I don't think I saw it on the Eagles page. I think I saw it on the photographer who took the pictures page.
Okay.
So when I saw it, I did a double take, of course. And I said, oh my gosh, this is that horrible representative that was in Congress that was ousted, and he did so much harm to the gay community. And I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe that this was up, that he was at the Eagle, number one. He's living his best gay life, and he actively voted against being able to live your best gay life. So to me, it was like a slap in the face, basically. So I was just flabbergasted, and I could not believe that he was at the Eagle. And I'm so glad that they took it down. If they took it down, I'm not really even 100% sure. So
I think one of his arguments is that because we also came across what is an alleged conversation that he had with somebody online, and somebody was saying, yeah, you've been through the ringer with this whole thing. Was having a conversation with him, and he said, I wasn't gay at the time, that's why I didn't vote. But the thing is, you don't have to be. We have so many allies in our community that support us, that are. I was just watching a whole interview with Linda Carter, who's been a long-term ally.
Yeah.
And we have so many that support. So it just says a lot about his nature that doesn't. And he also said in the same conversation that at the right time, I'm going to apologize to the community, because it does seem like this whole wacky, what the fuck situation. And I think, where's this apology been? And not to mention to the people of Illinois for misappropriating all of these funds for Katy Perry and Downton Abbey office.
Don't drag Katy Perry into this, because she did nothing
Katy Perry's responsible partly for taking the money of Aaron Schock. No, I'm kidding. And that damn Downton Abbey. I mean, I can't believe it. If people didn't know he was gay back then for his choice in entertainment, come on now. But regardless, I think this apology should have come way years ago, and to be frolicking around at places like Coachella and the Eagle, without having a statement out there or a book, or where's his work now towards, he seems to be a free man now, where's his work with the LGBTQ community to show his repentance to the community? He could be doing so many great things. I mean, if he is, nobody knows about it, because they're only talking about
it's very secret.
He seems to be spending more time in the gym as one of our. Go ahead, yeah.
So
he has enough time for that.
So after I saw the picture, I went to his Instagram, and apparently, I believe that he's.
You did some research.
It was before you even brought the story up. I had been doing some research. I was like, what is this man doing? Because I have so much anger and just I'm just so upset with this man because of what he did, and how he is behaving now, as opposed to when he was in office, and all the things that he did when he was in office that are counterintuitive to how he's living now. So I went to his Instagram page, and I think he's invested in gyms and things of that nature. Alan W. says he was on the cover of Men's Health.
He was. Before I think he was elected into office. Yes, he was.
So it just is so horrible to me. And I can't believe that, that he is doing the things that he is doing. I also want to say, you mentioned that he said that he wasn't gay when he was making all these decisions, and that is just such malarkey to me. I cannot.
okay, Biden. Malarkey.
I know. I sound like an 85-year-old white man when I said that.
You sound like Biden, which I love, but yes.
But I wanted to say bullshit, but for the kids, I kept it very, PG-13. So
This is an X-rated audience, so keep it real.
I think it's such bullshit. I think, and it's so counterproductive to what we say out in public as far as our natures. We are who we are, and we are who we are at birth. So maybe he wasn't in touch. Maybe he meant he wasn't in touch with his gay self back in the day. But I think that the fact that he was able to vote against pro-gay policies back then, only shows the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Self-hatred he had towards himself.
Right. The hypocrisy is
It's
just
such hypocrisy.
horrible. And I don't know how he doesn't have any shame to be going out now and posing for pictures here and frolicking with guys on the dance floor. I would be so embarrassed. The first thing
Likewise.
I would have done is done my repentance tour after being ousted to the
That's
people of
what you
Illinois,
do.
for the
Who is that
money
guy
that
from
I
this
owed
man?
back.
Yeah.
And then to the LGBTQ plus community, I would have made a name for myself and done everything I could. We are now, how many years? 7 years later, after he was ousted out of office. You would think he would have been hearing about him, but for good reasons.
Yeah.
And then we probably, maybe, I don't know, unlike, and of course, we have to throw in the race card a little bit because
Here we go. Thank you.
there's in our New York here, Mondaire Jones, who is out black gay man running for office. If he did something like that 2 years into office, it would not be. We wouldn't just be sort of sweeping it under the rug and
Under the stone wall. That's where he would.
Right. Pictures wouldn't be taken of him at the club after horrific acts, and we would just be like, oh no. Not that people are letting this guy off the hook, but I don't know. I'm waiting for this apology tour. I'm glad the Eagle took the picture down. Don't be mad at the Eagle. Anyways, crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on because there is we wanted to talk about this other story the other day, and here it is, where an employer is suing for religious freedom to drop PrEP coverage and is complaining about the bad publicity. So one of the plaintiffs in what could be a landmark case denying health insurance coverage of PrEP and contraception is complaining he's being harassed now. John Kelly is an orthodontist in Tarrant County, Texas, of course, and is among 4 complainants in a case action lawsuit filed in the state challenging the federal government's authority to mandate access to free vaccines, birth control, cancer screenings, and other preventative services with the Affordable Care Act. So essentially, what's going on here is this orthodontist doesn't think that he should provide PrEP coverage, amongst other things, because of what he calls his religious freedom. And it's now a case that is going down. They're renaming the case because he has been getting some hate mail directed at him. I don't endorse that at all. So they are renaming the case. However, this is exactly what we were talking about when Roe versus Wade was overturned, 100, that we were talking about marriage, but now we're getting into our healthcare because of, quote, religious freedoms. So now this could be the case where you got something that is your health right. And now that could be ripped away. What were your thoughts, Kodi, when you first heard about this?
Exactly what you said. That this is not a religious issue. It is a public health issue. This is something
it should never be a religious issue, though, ever.
Well, I mean, I get that.
You can have your religious
beliefs, but that's why. So my point is that there is a reason that the founding fathers, that the right is so quick to quote and put their names in their mouths as far as what they believe in, why they wanted a separation of church and state. The founding fathers were not for religion being able to influence
separation of state and church.
Exactly. They weren't for the government being able to be influenced by religion. So that is why they put that in there. And I think that everybody on the religious right is getting it all twisted up. And I can't believe that it is so pervasive now that they're quoting the founding fathers and saying that this is something that they would want, when there are several quotes from different founding fathers saying that is something that they are dead set against, that they were dead set against, because they're dead, now, actually. So
when you said founding fathers, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's nuts because it's just turning into this avalanche of going from one right to the next. And this is what we all predicted, what many people predicted would come. First, we thought gay marriage could be in danger, and that could be the case, thanks to Clarence Thomas.
Yep.
And now things
He's one of the
like
main ones.
and you know how much Truvada is, even the generic version? It's
Oh my
like
gosh.
thousands of dollars if you.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, and so my goodness, if I hope this does not, but it's an actual case that's going to go through, and who knows in the courts of Texas if this ends up being the case. Obviously, not every employer is going to adopt that, but if you work for this orthodontist, he's definitely going to be getting rid of that. And
oh, Texas.
Yeah,
I
damn
feel
Texas.
so bad for our brothers and sisters that live in that state.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, really. I mean, I felt bad for Florida. Now I feel worse for Texas. What are people saying before we move on the comments and I cue up our next stories?
James just was saying he hates to backtrack, but
Back
he
it up.
looked up the story on the Southside Gay Bar, and it's scary. It feels like it was intentional, and there was only one survivor. And I agree, it's completely sad, and I just, my heart goes out to those families.
Yes.
Alan W says Aaron Schock was on the cover of Men's Health. We did mention that.
Yeah.
I think I quoted Alan. I stole that from you, Alan. Alan also says, if you think about it, the time of the founding fathers was much more religious, and people came here to live whatever religion they wanted, and our public services should support all religions, or even if you're non-denominational or you agnostic or what have you, or atheist.
Yeah, but it's one religion, by the way, that we're talking about when we talk about these things. It's
Speak
the
on it, girl.
It's not like, if it would be one thing, which if we were really representing all religions, but sadly we are not. We're talking about one Catholic religion, which I happen to grow up under, by the way.
Yeah.
That I completely that doesn't mean anything. That's how I grew up. But my goodness, if we're going to represent all speak from religion, at least let's represent everyone's right to their religion and what everyone's religion speaks of. That's just hypocrisy once again. Oh my goodness. Okay. And lifestyle and religions. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay. Moving on. Palm Springs is in the news. We've got a couple stories here. First off, Palm Springs Pride, which comes up in November, is urging you to say gay. That is the theme. I am so excited about this.
I think I'm going to add gay to my name. Kodi Gay Doggette. Kodi Maurice Gay Doggette. There it goes right there.
Yes, absolutely. We must declare our queer devotion at full volume, despite the fascism rolling our current cultural climate. Florida has cooked up some don't say gay crap alongside their voluminous reserves. Well, I'm not going to say what this article said because it's just a little more than we needed to say. But we're saying it. Say gay. Our thunderous LGBTQ legacy is rippling from the Sunshine State to SoCal, and the organizers of Palm Springs Pride can hear us loud and queer, and they've instituted a wonderful new mantra for this year's event. You know, it's interesting, Kodi, because I think that we were talking offline that Pride has turned into many things for many people, and I love that for the last several years, it was a celebration, which I think the evolution of Pride has been really great. Some argue that sometimes Pride has turned into a marketing platform for large companies. And yes, I agree with you at times, but we can always celebrate our Pride in our own way. However, with the way, like the last stories we've been talking about, it's turning into what it was originally all about, which was a march for our rights. And it's interesting how everything really is cyclical, sadly, in this case, because now we're back to protesting and marching for our rights and it's become political again. And this, I'm so happy it is, because California is it's saying no, Florida, say gay, and I'm
That's
so happy
right.
for that. I'm glad that they get a little bit more time too, since their pride doesn't fall. It's a little bit later in the year, partly because it's 110 degrees in Palm Springs.
I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, I
Oh
can't
yeah.
even imagine.
So they push it off
But
into
it's a dry
November.
heat though. It's a dry heat
It's
though.
a
So it's a little
drool, but
different.
it's still 110, child. So they push it into November, which is a great time of year to be in Palm Springs. And if you're out there, say gay, people. It's going to be lovely. Also, though, in Palm Springs news, this story caught my attention when a drag queen came under attack at Oscars, the infamous Oscars. It was a drag brunch for bringing up a child to dance at a drag show,
Oh, whoa,
which
nice.
sounds more essentially the drag queen who goes by Sabrina Williams was simply doing her show. I've been to Oscars before. It's a stage, but it's not a formal stage. It was just it's a stage area. She was
Yeah, it was outside.
performing, and a little girl was off to the side dancing right to the music. It was Donna Summer, Last Dance. I'll put the video up on tagspodcast.com. And the drag queen Sabrina looked over and said, would you like to come up and dance? Because since she was right there and the little girl did her thing, it's a really lovely moment when you watch it. And sadly, it caught the attention of the far right. And the moment was captured on video, and it soon festered its way into conservative media. Sabrina was inundated with accusations of, get this, pedophilia and, quote,
What?
grooming kids. The intention was so gracious that it was so innocent behind that video. To have what came out of it, I never would have imagined, says Sabrina. Bigots came out of the digital muck to harass Miss Williams. Quote, when they started calling me and making those kinds of threats, it became a lot more personal and it became a lot scarier. She has had to limit her social media to verified followers only, and she's kind of scared. And did you watch the video of her being
I
interviewed by the
did.
news? It was
Yes,
really, I felt bad for her because
me
she
too.
broke down in tears at the end
Yeah.
of it too. When you watched the video, what did you see?
So the first thing I saw when I watched the video was the fact that the child was on stage just living. It
Right.
was so beautiful, and the child was just dancing and having the most amazing time, and it warmed my horrible, rotted, frigid heart. I think I came back to life like the Grinch that stole Christmas. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It was one of those feel good moments when you watched it, right?
It was so beautiful.
It was Oprah.
Everybody was cheering the child on and giving them dollars, and it was
to my Donna Summer.
all to Donna
Last
Summer.
Dance.
And there was nothing shameful or horrible or grooming about anything that I witnessed on that stage. I think that it was just beautiful, and it was empowering, if you ask me, because I think that the child learned that this is a community and that to be their most authentic self, and they can be accepted by so many different types of people. And honestly, like I thought, I looked at the drag queen and I saw their outfit and I saw that it was something that Katy Perry, to bring Katy Perry back up, Katy Perry might have on, or an ice skater, or a trapeze artist, you can see that outfit in a million different places. There was nothing sexualized at all. I could not believe
Also, what Sabrina Williams was saying, the drag queen.
I love that name, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
It makes me smile every single time.
Sabrina Williams. Sounds like Serena. She's fabulous. And I think one of the things she said, this is how kids are going to learn about, and I always agree, I say this all the time, when you restrict, we keep hearing about taking away books, we keep hearing about don't say gay. When you take all those things away, none of this is sexual, by the way. It's just life and inclusivity and making your kids aware. When you take those away, what do is you impede them, and that's where hatred comes into the mix. To Sabrina, she said this child was just living, and it didn't go unnoticed that there was a person of color, the little girl, that I thought was lovely. We have heard stories of sometimes in the Black community, it's not always as accepting. Correct, Kodi?
Oh yeah.
And I thought this was a beautiful moment. And by the way, the parent would not have allowed this child up there. Who is this far right making the choices that this is wrong? And to really take a beautiful moment and demonize it is really the atrocity in this entire story of it, because those people on the far right know, looking at it, that this is a beautiful moment, and they are using it because we are divided right now, and that's all it is. And it's just sad because it doesn't have, they're really taking something beautiful and smashing it. So, but we're not going to let that happen, and we're posting it on Tags Podcast, and you can watch the video yourself because it really is a beautiful moment. And send some love and shout outs to Miss Sabrina Williams over there in Palm Springs. Send her some snaps and all that. Yeah, she needs it right now. That had to be
that girl. I'm gonna bring my baseball bat.
Absolutely. Say hi to her when you're in Palm Springs. What does El Rey say? Will I get our next story?
El Rey says adults and their thing. She was only supporting the kid. And I agree 100%. You know, what's really funny to me is that, and I've said this before, the far right and people that are against abortion and things of that nature only want to protect the kids from things that they deem not so good or unworthy. They when it comes to actually protecting the children, as far as maybe like the gun laws and things of that nature, then
oh right, yeah, thank you.
So
yeah, exactly. When it really has to, when it comes to let's talk
actually
about guns.
kids. Yeah,
it's silence, crickets, and you're right. The hypocrisy once again on that is just horrific. Absolutely.
Kelly Dead says it's that the right wing is perverting the moment, and I agree. They're adding something lascivious into it that was never there in the first place. And Xavier says there's always a new scapegoat in an election year. Oh,
right. And now we're making the children pay for this. Yeah, they're making it about the children, and I don't even think they really care about it, because if anybody, like we said, looked at the video, you would not think anything was lascivious was going on. It's now we've thrown the children in the middle of a divided country, all for things like the midterms, and because we're at a divided warlike, and they are coming at it with warlike tendencies. It's just wrong in every way, but we will continue to shout it out and denounce it.
Yep.
Also in drag news, Alum and OnlyFans creator, one of your favorites from Drag Race, Milk.
I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Milk, your favorite
ma'am.
of all time, is reminding you that they are still very much creating adult content, darling. I know you know this because you follow her on OnlyFans. The Entertainer even posted a clip from them producing.
These are not the facts, y'all. These are not the facts.
They put out a clip of them producing their own milk. Okay, dripping cum shot. Let me just say it what it was for the private page. Milk is not the only drag star to monetize their sex life after appearing on Drag Race. So there's other ones that have also done this. The Vixen, Adore Delano, Aja, Dahlia Sin, Sasha Bell, and Ariel Versace, or Versace as you like to say it.
It's Versace, darling. It's Versace.
What? This brings up a lot of comments. First, I need to know why you are down on Milk, because I don't remember Milk at all.
I've never gone down on Milk. No, I'm sorry. No.
I don't even like milk, to be honest. I don't drink milk. I drink almond milk. I drink almond milk, to be honest. So there's that. But so I want to hear your thoughts on Milk and why you don't like her. But also, what do you think about these drag queens that are switching to OnlyFans? Do you think it works? Because we were talking offline in our meeting that it takes a lot to get an audience built on OnlyFans. So, for example, porn stars easily already have a fan base, and when they move over to OnlyFans to create their adult content, they've got a following that's pretty big for the type of work that they already do. Now they can just curate it as they see fit and make tons of coin. And then if you're new to the game, we've had people on the show talk about OnlyFans and how really challenging it is because you always have to come up with fresh new content. You have to listen to your audience, and it takes time to build up that repertoire of an audience that to really see some coin and don't quit your day job. What do you think of someone when their day job is a drag queen or what they're known for? And do you think that it works to go over to as many of these former alums are doing? Can it work?
So to answer your first question about why I'm down on milk, I can sum it up in 4
just
words.
Not oat milk, but yeah. If you're just joining the show, we're talking about Drag Race former alum that goes by milk.
Yes. I can sum it up in 4 words, and you might have to get the bleep ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Fuck my drag, right? And it's all because of what happened with Kennedy Davenport. And I probably shouldn't take sides because Kennedy has come out and said that, Kennedy and Milk are friends. Kennedy.
You're just holding a grudge.
I'm holding a grudge. No, I'm not.
Don't
really
ever. Yeah.
I don't care.
You're not feeling her. You can't like all of them.
She's not my favorite drag queen, basically, and I'm not down on her. It's just,
so maybe if she's not your favorite drag queen, then maybe he could be your favorite OnlyFans creator.
Okay, so we were talking in our production meeting, right? And
somebody get me a glass of milk over here. I think we need a glass of milk to talk about. Yeah, right. Can we spike it?
So we were talking in our production meeting, and you were like, "Well, what is going on? How come you're not for milk and the OnlyFans?" So I don't know if you remember this story, or even if we talked about it, but Milk on their OnlyFans, they had sex with someone, and they had a little accident on the OnlyFans. Do you remember this story?
Yes, poop.
Chocolate milk, Connie, chocolate milk.
And they didn't edit that out,
and they
correct?
Didn't edit it out, and they released
on this show, not on this particular show, but on our other show, I edited out Monday's episode 391, like 20 minutes got on the cutting room floor.
Girl, I hope you made.
And you know why. And you know why.
We were drinking, and
25 minutes of it did not make the light of day. But anyways, go on.
Anyway, so yeah, I hope you made me sound smart. Please, God, please, thank you.
I did my best, sweetie. I drank some oat milk while I edited, and yeah.
Fabulous. As long as it wasn't whole milk. Anyway.
No, never.
But yeah, so that when they released that, that's when I kind of said to myself, okay, I do not want to support Milk's OnlyFans. Milk is a very attractive person, so I would support. But once they released that with the chocolate milk accident there, I said to myself, I'm not for this. This is not. And I am the type of top that I know that accidents happen, right? So I try.
But you're an oat milk fan, not a chocolate milk fan. Oh, right? When you want chocolate milk, you go for chocolate. But...
we can make this analogy happen. I know we can. So when chocolate milk happens, I don't shame the bottom. I make them feel very comfortable and okay with themselves. And
you steer them back to the oat milk.
My oat milk, personally. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Wow.
But don't put it on the internet. Reshoot it if you have to, and just make sure that you are doing the things that. Porn is a fantasy. At the end of the day, we've said it multiple times on this show. That's not part of my fantasy. So yes.
Did you think that she thought that would be funny or entertaining or work for her? Subscribe. I don't know. I mean, there's a crazy fetish for everything, and that's probably one of them too. There has to be. I don't know. Your mouth is open. My phone just went off, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Is
Well,
my wine
I'm
here?
texting you. Everybody's watching and they're texting you like, what?
I know there's too
What?
much going on here. Xavier says there is a reason she did poorly twice.
Ooh, that's the read, but I am not. I didn't say that read. I'm not.
El Rey says if
that.
Milk doesn't know the tricks by now, I'm questioning her drag altogether. Oz says when you're feeling really slutty, but your booty is brown and runny. Whoa, Oz is keeping it real. Blake says, I was just gonna say there has to be a fetish site for that. Yeah, thank you, Blake.
Put it there.
But I think you have to be. I don't know if that's her
parental advisory. I need all the things because that is not my gig. I did not. To me, if that. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to. Okay, Valerie. If I was let's just play this out. If I was a contestant on Drag Race, yes, I think I might use a segue of me because there is a fetish for men in panties and lingerie. I would kind of go that route to kind of segue like a good mix, and I would think that my community would maybe go there, or I would assume they don't want to see. I don't want to see that at all, and they just want to see me as a boy, and I would just go that route. How is it working for some of the other former alums? Is it working for them to say, or are people accepting it and going, subscribing? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, of course they are. They have a platform. I'm sure that there are people that are,
but they know them like Adore Delano.
Exactly.
They don't know them, just, stroking their cock, getting pounded.
But still, sexuality is not just
it's fluid.
It's for everybody. And as far as if you want to go and have and show your sexuality on OnlyFans, I'm all for it. I am a proponent of sexuality, that we do this show together because we're all about boosting gay sexuality, and I'm here for it. You guys do what you need to do. I think that as long as their fan base is okay with it, and you know what really kind of came to my mind, and I'm kind of switching gears a little bit here, is their fan base. How can they even sustain their fan base or even their mainstream fan base if they're doing OnlyFans? Because do you think that if they run into problems with their mainstream fan base if they're doing OnlyFans and things of this nature?
So the question is, how can they do both? The fan bases on both? Yeah, that's what I mean. I think there's room for all of it, though, and I think in this climate, seriously, I think you have to be diversified. You have to do a lot of different things. So I think my overall opinion, just to quote another story that we're not even going to talk too much about it, but there's two R&B artists. One we talked about last week, Frank Ocean, who many of you all know, R&B artist, but he came out with a jewelry line. We were talking about his $25,000 cock ring.
I bought it just so you got.
Did you?
Yeah.
So. Thank you very much for my birthday. It's a little early. It better be extra large size, though.
I'm like 6 months early for your birthday, girl. No.
It better be the silver diamond encrusted extra large. Thank you very much. Frank Ocean is apparently, people are wondering if he's with Omar Apollo, R&B artist as well, who I actually have some of his music, Omar, I found on my phone, and I was like, oh, I love him. People are wondering if they're a couple because they've been spotted in parts of Italy and now Greece. No one has claimed that they are or not, but that's what everyone is wondering. And I do think, as related to the last story, one of them, Frank Ocean, is diversifying his music career, not coming out with an album since 2016, but is coming out with a jewelry line. Omar Apollo probably thinks, if I vacation with Frank Ocean and we throw the kids a little bone here and there, people like us, and where I got the story on instinctmagazine.com, are going to be talking about this. And that's it got me to look at, oh, wait, I have one Omar Apollo song I didn't realize he had a new album. It got me to download the new album, which is really good. So I guess my point is, and I do have one, is that you have to diversify in this climate because you no longer can just ride on your bridges. Rest on your laurels. I'm not sure.
Rest on your laurels. That is the right one.
One one career move in entertainment. You've got to diversify. You've got to play
It's
the
true.
game.
And
You got to
that
do all
is
these things.
advice that
So
Mama Ru gave us.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think it's lovely. What are the people saying before we move on?
So the people are
Uh-oh.
going crazy with these puns, and I'm here for it. I fully encouraged it. So a lot of these you can blame on me. El Rey says expired milk with the throw up emoji. Cali Dad says spilt milk. Oz gave us a sick type of emoji with the face like.
Oh yeah, I hate that one, but yeah.
Daddy 234 says curdled milk. And
oh no.
Callie Dad says milkmaid and utterly disgusting. I almost spit my wine out on that one because that was cute. And I think that's it as far as the milk puns are concerned.
All right.
Here says, to be fair, who isn't in Greece right now? And
right. Excelsior and all, right? So throw these two lovely R&B. I know we are not in there. We are sitting in our living room with the air conditioning on, but loving it.
Yep.
Okay, I love it. Quick announcement, real quick, just to remind people, we are switching over to Vocal next week. I put it in the message at the top of it, but you can. Next week, we will be switching over to vocal.com/channels/tags live, but you can always get it on Tags Podcast, and we hope you make the move over as we will, because we have a new home. All right. Well, I'm going to skip over monkeypox this week, and unless you want to talk about it.
No. Go. We talk about it every single week.
We talk about it every show. We'll keep it for next Tuesday's show because it'll work, and we have only 15 minutes, and I want to get to these other topics.
Okay.
Including, you know how we were talking about New York has seen less public sex. It's been reported because they've had less crimes, I guess, reported. And so people were wondering what's the deal. And there's a lot of different reasons as to why. However, another group, Hookup, was just spotted on a New York subway. Kodi, do you have that story? Maybe you could put it in so people could watch it.
Yep.
New Yorkers and anybody who lived in the state will tell you that the Big Apple is a place where you just don't know what you're going to see that day. And although after seeing a lot of crazy things, a recent group of guys was spotted. Two of the guys were fucking on the subway station. It had to be late at night, and two of the guys had
it definitely wasn't at rush hour.
No, it was late at night. If you notice, Kodi, there was a homeless man sleeping on one of the benches.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I thought it was closed.
He passed out. Two of the guys have sex while standing up, while the other two watch and pleasure themselves and film it at the same time. I guess the first question is, which out of the two would you be, or three, in the name of monkeypox? which would you be? I think I would be filming it.
Okay.
Because I would be so freaked out. I guess I like to put on a show here and there, but I'm really a lights camera. If you saw the setup here, you guys, you know that don't call me when you're downstairs and say that you're downstairs, because I likely won't answer the door because I don't have my line drawn in. I don't have any of this good stuff. I don't have the new eyebrow line in there. Do not ever just surprise me. And so with this, I don't know if the homeless man's going to wake up or the people in the train on the C train are going to see me as I'm on the E train and point and be like, is that Steve getting pounded over there? So at the very least, I would be the one jacking off and I guess filming for their OnlyFans so they can make some coin. I don't know. Which one would you be?
I think I would be the one. So did you watch the whole video?
I saw enough.
Okay. So at the end of the video, the one that isn't filming goes up to the other two and asks, can he get in there? So I would be the one.
Seconds?
Sloppy. I would be there for the sloppy second.
That says a lot about your character.
I'm okay with it. You know what? You
sloppy seconds, Kodi Doggette. I'm gonna call you sloppy. Gay. Can I call you Sloppy Joe from now on? Milk.
No, that's my boyfriend's name.
Oh, Sloppy Joe. Oh, not in a milk kind of way.
Not in a milk kind of way. Sloppy Co is what Blake says.
It seems a little. Whatever. I think it's great because we needed some content and let them do it. For all we know, they're boyfriends. Everybody knows each other. It was 4 a.m. on a Saturday night, and it made for great content. And I watched it, and it was sexy and hot. So I
rewatched it too.
Oh, did you? You went to the end to see the sloppy seconds.
I had to see because the guy didn't get in there because. You know, they
had already done it all.
They had already done everything.
You can't come at the end of the movie and expect to be cast in the film. We already casted it, shot it. It's already in theaters. I've watched it. You need to go to casting for a new role.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the sequel. Okay. Maybe I could be in the sequel.
No. What are people saying before we move on?
Teddy says, y'all get vaxxed for monkeypox. It's super contagious. So that is our monkeypox statement for this week in this show.
We talk about it on every show, and there's information. Yeah. One thing I will say, you guys, if you are concerned, one thing we were going to say about it is on social media, Twitter stepped up to the plate. And now if you go on Twitter, there is an actual designated area for monkeypox where you can get the latest information on how to stay safe, how to, everything you need to know, even where we think you don't know much, which I feel like is the case. At least there's a resource when you're on Twitter, and they're really proposing all the other platforms to also step up to the plate and do the right thing. They haven't yet, but we will report back. That's all we're going to say on it today, because we talk about it every show.
We do.
And we'll continue to.
Exactly, because it's information that needs to be disseminated. Yeah. So, okay. But moving on, Callie Dad says there's some hella hot subway sex videos out there, and send them my way, Callie Dad. Okay. All right.
Put this one in the mix of pretty hot, though. I mean, I guess it was hot. It was hot in the voyeuristic way where they were just going at it, and minus the homeless man passed out on the bench next to them. But the other train going by, the Q or R, whatever it was kind of interesting. I don't know. I'm always looking at all the other accoutrement to the scene. So I think I was a little distracted. I should probably go back and rewatch it. Okay. But yeah.
I mean, if you need a friend to watch it with, I'll come over.
Okay. All right. That sounds fun.
Oz says that he saw that clip at least a year ago. Well, I mean, why are you holding on to the clips, Oz? You should be sending them.
It just came out. Maybe there really is a lack thereof of content, and we're just recycling content because New York is in a deficit of public sex. So maybe it is an old clip, but it came in a recent thread that I subscribed to. So
And El Rey says that he's on the train trying to stay alive, not to fuck. I was going to keep it PG-13, but I've already said fuck one time before. Yay!
There you go. Right. In this climate. Exactly. In this
climate.
All right. Well, let's get, was there any others?
One more thing. Can I, because Callie Dad says, look at Xavier's monkeypox comment, and he calls monkeypox milky pox. And I think that's genius. He won for this week.
I love it. Milky Pogs. Yes, the winner award goes to you.
Gonna hate us. Milk, we're sorry. We love you, boo.
Oh, don't start retracting now. Anyways, we got to get to this story. A recent Reddit thread asked the question. Actually, it wasn't a Reddit thread. It was a hi Jake on Jake Myers is the writer of this article. Somebody wrote into Jake for Queerty and asked the question, I recently moved into a new apartment. My bedroom window faces another building, and if I look down at just the right angle, I can see right into my neighbor's living room. Oh. Now, here's where it maybe gets weird. The guy is super hot and likes to walk around his apartment naked. Okay. I don't know if he's gay, but I've found myself spying on him.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if it counts as spying since the windows more or less face each other and he doesn't have any blinds. It seems like if he really cared, he would either put on clothes or hang up some curtains. So maybe he knows and or likes being watched. What I'm curious about is if watching him crosses a line or makes me a pervert. I don't know, normally consider myself a voyeur, so this whole thing is taking me by surprise. Sincerely, Peeping Pete. Child, no. Take advantage of this. Did you not watch
I love how
Sex
you
in
just
the
hopped right into it.
I mean, did you not watch Sex in the City back in the 90s when I forget one of the characters was this exact thing and they got the girls together and made Cosmos, of course.
Yeah.
That's what they drank and had a viewing party of the neighbor too. My situation's a little creepier in that every so often I'll walk by my window and I face a teenager's room.
Oh no.
And this teenager is I didn't get this memo when I was a teenager. I was always like now I would take my shirt off all the time and I'm always, loud and proud with it. Back when I was younger and I was a gymnast even, I was always so self-conscious and constantly clothed, and we didn't grow up in a household that nudity was like acceptable and all that. So it was always put your clothes on. And so this guy's always shirtless, walking around, coming out of the shower in a robe. I've seen him naked, and I'm like, I don't want to see that because it's just
not the kids.
It's well, he's probably at 16, 17, but it's still creepy. And but it's nope. I just saw that movie. Nope. Well, it's just one of those things that I'm like, oh no, I don't want to see that. And so it's just that's creepy to me if I was to sit there and watch that. But this is not.
It's not. It definitely is not. I can tell you from experience, if I am naked and walking in front of my window naked, I want people to see me. Okay. I am the person that likes.
You go on your Instagram and you are naked.
Wait a minute. I'm not naked.
On your birthday? On your birthday, child. What did you post?
It wasn't naked. Was it naked? I don't think it was. I think I had on something.
It was naked. It was
I think I had a towel in front of everything. So that's clothes. It's cloth.
It's naked, but that's okay. I was here for it. You and milk. I'm here for it.
Whoa.
I sense a collaboration. Now, you're ending the show early. Yeah.
Twice you've had me sign off on it.
You will leave when I pull your cord. Thank you very much. Anyways, what else were you going to say?
Yeah, it doesn't make you a pervert. If he's walking around naked and he's of age, then enjoy the view, darling. Okay, you're not hurting anybody. You're not sexually assaulting him. So enjoy the view.
Absolutely. What are people saying before I put our final favorite topic in the mix?
Callie says, Oz says that he would be the neighbor, number one. What does James say? There's a lot of comments about this, okay?
Read them because we got to read them.
Oz says perv life, and he's about that, and he would be the naked neighbor. Kelly says it reminds him of the girl in the opposite dorm who would work out topless every day in a curtainless window. And wow. That's a lot. Oz says that he's walked around naked so that people could see him on purpose. That is what I'm aligned with. El Ray says he should get naked and drop a glass out the window to see what happens. So they should walk around naked in front of each other to see if I would get on Grindr, honestly.
This sounds like a movie. I like it.
Sliding Doors, the gay version. 2022.
There you go. Yeah.
And Teddy says that's like a J-Lo movie. Which J-Lo movie, darling? And James says, my neighbors and I walk around naked all the time. I need to live in his neighborhood. And Daddy234 says if he actually cared, he'd have curtains up. Callie that also says nothing like being on the balcony early and naked. Everybody has a million things to say about
Oh,
it.
right. I guess.
And they're here
Yeah.
for it. They all agree with us.
I love it. I mean, I come out of the shower and I'm like, because I feel like the people that are across my way that would see me currently right now, they're working on an apartment and it's like construction workers. Do
Mhm.
they I don't know. Maybe, but on the other
With the
hand,
scaffolding, I would walk
I
around
would
naked
love a
with the
construction
scaffolding right in
worker
front of
to
me.
be, so maybe I should. There's this other like party thing that's happening currently. It's like a private club across the way. Maybe they would be kind of cool to see me. So maybe I need to rethink this. Teddy says the one where the the one where the guy is young and he gets psycho when she sleeps with him. Enough? Is it enough?
It's not enough. I don't know which one it
There's
is.
another one that's like enough.
I mean,
The
I'm not
boy
gonna.
next door. Okay.
We need to move on because
All right.
Jeremy's gonna get mad at me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. We're
Boy
moving
next door
on.
is what it's called.
Okay. Thirst Trap is one of our favorite segments by Straight Up Gay Porn, as we love to end the show with. And this week they are asking the question, which of these 24 gay porn stars took the best photo or video? We want you guys to play along. I'll post this on tagspodcast.com. Our job is to descriptively describe, or excuse me, vividly describe. I don't want to alliterate there. Which one is our favorite one? Kodi, which one was your favorite?
So my favorite this week was Markin Wolf. He's closer to the bottom.
Ooh.
And it's because he's in the position that I like my men on their knees. He is in a shower stall and it's beautifully tiled and he's completely naked with a fully erect cock and he's looking longingly into the light that's shining right into the bathroom and it's just gorgeous. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous picture. And I checked out his Twitter and he takes it like a champ. He even has sex with Raheem Shabazz. So I'm here for Mark and Wolf.
Well, mine went, thank you very much on that. We want to hear from you as well. You know, there were so many strong contenders in this,
Yes,
and it was all about the tough shot in my mind this week, you know, giving a tough look or the dick shot. Elijah Zane is serving dick as he lies back with in all glory with that beautiful dick lying in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for that. King Jax is, you know, it's all about the bush this week too. King Jax is spread eagle like in a squat with his nice thick dick out there, his gym shorts on one leg only, like he just came from the gym, at a nice bush. Also in bush category is K Ecstatic, who looks like he might be in the woods somewhere or maybe Fire Island. It's really beautiful where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
He is giving a bicep pump and a like, yeah, look on his face. And he's got the biggest bush ever. And it looks really good. Those of you that don't like bush, you might like this one, and a really nice thick cock.
Yeah.
He gets my vote. Colton Reese is serving dick love too, and abs with glasses on in the shower. So is Kane Fox. I mean, it's like kind of on and on with the tough look and the dick.
Kane was another one that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
Kane and someone in the comments says Youssef. Did you see Youssef's video?
I don't know. I will look at it.
It is hot, child. It is.
I have some homework to do on this. What else is anyone saying?
Alan W says Mason Thorne. He just wants to jump in that picture. Oz says Dan Damage for the unexpected. I got to go take a look at that. Daddy234 says Andrew Delta. 5'7" with tattoos is so his type. Xavier says Youssef with the perfect round pecs, which I totally agree with. James says Ruben Hernandez. Blake says Tampa Tom for him. And Oz says Mark and Wolf is definitely the best look for him, though.
Love it. Thanks for playing along with that. Very cool. Don't forget, we are moving over to vocal.com, VOKL.com next week. It's in the comment section or on our website. So next week we will be over there. We had other topics we didn't get to, but they will roll over. Join us for episode 393 with Jeremy next Tuesday when the show drops in the morning. So get that. And You can follow us at Tags Podcast on Instagram, at Tags Podcast, on the TikTok, on Twitter. Follow Kodi. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching. I imagine you're looking for some new clients for the fall, darling.
Always, darling. Always looking for new clients.
Nice. And Mr. Maurice at Mr. Maurice on Twitter and Instagram. And thanks
I'm
so
allegedly
much.
naked there.
Yes. Well, yeah, there is one.
Allegedly.
You are. What part of just in a towel there covering? And there's some bush, I believe. Maybe not as much bush as I was describing in some of these other guys, but
Yes.
who knows? That shot should be that shot of yours should be up in Thirst Trap. In
Oh,
one
it
of
should be in the
these.
Smithsonian?
In the
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't say
Oh,
that. I said maybe
thank you.
in Thirst Trap, perhaps, if you're lucky, if you're nasty. Okay. In the name of Janet Jackson, thank you so much. We were having such a good time,
Yes.
as always. And yeah, in the meantime, continue having hot, safe, gay sex.
Sex.
Yes, we did. Super fun.